Another attack here in New York and Jersey was just foiled the other day. All right, guys, so there was another communications attack that was headed our way, but if I'm not mistaken, the FBI or the Secret Service foiled this plan. This is another one. There was another foiled plan a week ago during the whole UN meeting. This one was just yesterday. And this one was a house or an apartment found in New Jersey where they had 200,000 SIM card phones hooked up, I guess, ready to initiate a communications attack. Now, this communications attack is a communication disruptor. These SIM card attacks are built to flood your phone or cell towers with 30 million text messages every minute. And they send them out all at once. Now, the attack last week was also text messages, but they were also blocking phone calls by flooding the 911 system with fake AI calls. That was last week. This week, this particular apartment they found was designed so that your cell phone was flooded with text messages. So they're trying to, again, cause disruption and cut off communication from whoever needs the communication to be communicated, if that makes sense. So if you needed to call 911, you can't because either you're getting too many text messages in or they're blocking the phone 911 system with AI phone calls. And again, flooding it so that you can't get through. Text messages, you can't text your loved one if you're doing that, and you can't make any phone calls, so your communication is out. Because again, this apartment that they found, there was 200,000 SIM card phones hooked up, where in New York it was 100,000. Again, that's a lot of SIM cards. 200,000 sending 30 million text messages a minute. That is an act of war. Whenever you're engaging in cutting off communications and creating chaos behind that cut communication, that is an act of war. Any other country right now would be throwing down. But instead, for some reason, we're glossing over it. At least the president is glossing over it because he hasn't said anything about the first attack or the foiled attack, and he's not speaking about this one. There should have been immediate communication to the American people about this. Now, this first apartment was found in New York. The second one, which was the other day, is found in New Jersey. That was 200,000, I guess, SIM card attacks or phones or whatever it was. They need to also now look at Connecticut, PA, Long Island. They have to expand their search because this is a problem. This, guys, would cripple the cell phone service, your phone. It would cripple the 911 system. People won't be getting help and people will be dying. Especially if you're having a heart attack or a stroke or something like that and you can't get through to 911. That is an act of war. Why isn't President Trump dropping the hammer? Well, probably because either China's controlling him or he's up China's ass. I don't know. But he is definitely a part of the problem if he hasn't set the war hammer loose yet. Because it should be already. Instead of telling your generals they need to lose weight, maybe you should be telling your generals we're about to go to war with China because they did this. Instead, granted, listen, I like the whole let's get rid of the fat generals. I like that. But we need to be focused on this. Now, I'm going to do another video on what to do if this does happen. What you're going to need to set up, the other communication devices you're going to need, because this could happen. There is more of a possibility of this happening than a nuclear bomb going off or some kind of Mumbai-style attack that I talked about last week, which is still on the table. Because now that I'm thinking about it, the Mumbai-style attack, where you have shooters from all over the city start attacking different cities across the nation at once, then you start flooding 911 systems with AI-generated phone calls and flooding everybody's phones with 30 million text messages within that area every minute on the minute. You cut off communications. Now people, like I said, can't report the attack going on. That could be the possibility. Again, this video is just strictly on the fact that they were trying to cripple our communications. Now, the article also pointed out that the 30 million text message will cripple communications and black out cell services throughout the New York area. They made it a point to mention that that would cripple us by way of, like I said before, knocking out our emergency responses, right? Because now you can't get firefighters, police officers, EMS. You can't get any of that dispatched because the system is flooded with 30 million text messages a minute and AI phone calls or AI robotic scamming calls calling into 911, coming up with some fake bullshit. Now, this is something, guys, that, like I said before, could possibly happen. It has a greater chance of happening. So they have to expand their search. I'm wondering where this is going to go and how far they're going to expand their search. Like I said, now they got to look at Long Island. Now they got to look at Connecticut, and they got to start finding out, as they said in the article, who bought that apartment. And this is the same person that bought that apartment that bought others. This investigation is going to be going on about probably why he didn't drop the hammer on China. But keep this in mind, guys. Nothing at this magnitude happens without the Chinese government knowing about it. I know that, you know that, and I know the government knows that. So there should be some kind of repercussions to the Chinese government, but I don't think we're going to see that anytime soon. Other than that, guys, this is the Angry Prepper. Thank you for watching.